The next hunter that we will be talking about is going to be Breaking Wheel. So he has two external traits. He has his wheel form and the ability to spike other survivors. The first one that we're going to be talking about is his wheel form. When Breaking Wheel is inside of his wheel form, he has faster movement speed and he can break pallets just by going right through them. He cannot do any normal attacks and he cannot do any interactions, which means vaulting windows, placing down peepers, breaking female dancers' music boxes, or disconnecting ciphers that are connected by prisoner. So that kind of interactions. He's only able to do two things, which is put spikes onto the survivors and move really, really quickly. Oh, and another thing is that he is immune to all control effects, so he can't be stunned. Similar to the Dream Witch main body in the fact that he's immune, so he can't be stunned, so Antiquarian can't harass, Forward can't harass. They have to wait till he's out of his wheel form and he's back into his human form. A quick little example of the hunter breaking the pallet in his wheel form. Pierce is his next external trait. We call it spikes, thorns, and any of the above. So when the survivors are run over by the wheel form, they will have spikes. Each survivor's max spike stack is 3, and after a spike lands on the survivors, another spike cannot land for at least 5 seconds. So if you are spiked, you have 5 seconds to transition to a better area. Look for a pallet, actually not a pallet, never mind, a window to utilize, or a very hard area for the hunter to loop around with the wheel controls. When the hunter attacks the survivors in human form, the normal 50% damage is dealt, but with each additional spike, additional 25% damage will also be dealt. For instance, we have the normal attack and 2 spikes on, that's 100% damage, and you will be going down right away. So if it's a normal attack with 1 spike, it's 75%. Spikes and thorns, they can be removed. It's much faster to be removed when it's a teammate taking them out, so have that in mind. If there's an opportunity for a teammate and there's a teammate nearby, have the teammate remove the spike instead of yourself. So for each spike, if there's 1, 2, or 3, it'll take 4 seconds, 7 seconds, and 10 seconds. When survivors are removing their own spikes, the time difference depends on how many survivors that have been eliminated. So if there's 0 survivors eliminated, for each 1, 2, 3 spike, it's going to take 17 seconds, 25 seconds, and 33 seconds. If there's 1 survivor that's been eliminated, it's going to take 13 seconds, 19 seconds, and then 25 seconds for each of the number of spikes. So if all 3 survivors have been eliminated, it's going to be the shortest, which is 5 seconds, 8 seconds, and 11 seconds, but it's still faster for teammates to remove the spikes for you. But if 3 survivors have been eliminated, you don't have any teammates, so that actually does make more sense, but you get the point. This is a visual of when the first spike lands onto the perfumer. You can see that the next spike won't land for another 5 seconds. So as survivors, you must know, once you get the first spike, transition to a better area as quickly as possible. At 0 presence, the hunter can utilize Wheel of Silence. When he is in his wheel form, he can click this ability and he'll get a speed boost. It gains 80% movement speed that will gradually diminish over 3 seconds. The time it takes for the ability to charge is 20 seconds, and it can be stacked up to 2 times. More visuals. So as you can see, this is going to help the hunter get around the map very quickly. Next ability at 0 presence is Reticent. It is a trap that the hunter can throw at survivors, but he has to be in his human form. Survivors who run into these traps will have their speed reduced by 60% for 2 seconds. However, if the survivor has a spike landed onto them and they run into the trap, they'll be stunned for 2 seconds. So big difference there. And the traps that are thrown last only for 8 seconds. The cooldown for this ability is 4 seconds, and ability charge is 16 seconds, and it can stack up to 2 times. And as always, here is what it will potentially look like. And yeah, I mean, I guess I could have had the survivor moving, but I mean, the explanation is good enough. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. When the hunter unlocks first presence, he gets the extended spike and the snap ability, which is huge. We see during the tournament scene that hunters will land 1 spike onto the survivor, get out of their wheel form, and get that first 75% damage hit just to unlock first presence. The first ability he will be getting is the Wheel of Impalement. That's just his extended spikes. Spikes are extended on the side of the wheels, making a larger range for spikes to land onto the survivors. The long spikes last for 6 seconds, and the cooldown is 20 seconds for this ability. Why this ability is so crucial is the fact that survivors like to counter wheel by looping windows, but with the extended spike, he can still land the spike onto survivors on the other side of the wall, so it makes it harder to loop. And so as you can see here, the range is much wider for the hunter to be able to land a spike onto the survivors. And then you can also see more examples of this during the actual gameplay that we'll have at the end. Next ability, also very important, is Pessimistic. The hunter has to be in his human form as well for this ability. He utilizes this ability, or we like to call it Snap, to inflict damage on the survivors who already have spikes onto them. So if they have one spike, it'll be 25% damage. If there's two spikes, 50% damage. If there's three spikes, it's going to be a 75% damage. But the survivors have to be within 12 meters. And the cooldown for this ability is 32 seconds. And we're going to just show a visual of the distance that it needs to be. I'm going to start walking a little bit closer, and here. So if he is around this distance, he will be able to still get injured with that snap. At full presence, the hunter gets an upgraded wheel form speed boost, and he also gets another ability. Wheel of Destruction is exactly the same as the Wheel of Silence. He gains 80% movement speed that gradually diminishes over 3 seconds while he's in his wheel form, but the differences are the charge time is reduced from 20 seconds to 18 seconds, and he can have up to 3 stacks or 3 charges of this ability. His next full presence ability is Ridicule. So this is when the hunter changes form from his wheel form to his human form. Spike will land onto the survivor if they are within 10 meters of the hunter when he changes forms. So this does not happen when the hunter changes from human form to the wheel form. It only happens when the hunter is from his wheel form changing into his human form. Now I said that one spike lands, you have 5 seconds before the second spike lands again, but this is a different spike, so that 5-second rule does not apply. So he can spike you within his wheel form by running over you, and then changing forms he can get another spike on you right away without that 5-second delay, or without that 5-second cooldown. The cooldown for this ability is 30 seconds. So this is what it will kind of look like. So as you can see that he's changing forms and a spike lands onto the perfumer. Here's another example with the magician. I don't play this hunter, so I'm really bad with the controls, but yeah, it will look like this. Obviously we're going to watch the gameplay next, and you will have a much better example so you can really understand the hunter and how to use his abilities. It looks like the GG hunter will be starting first as Wheel on Lakeside Village going against TE survivors, and the hunter's first chase is going to be Xawm, who is the acrobat. Acrobat, a very versatile character in this area. We have 3 windows and a little boat to work with, and he can just jump over these areas and avoid this wheel. It looks like the wheel will be going up that little boat, and Xawm's being very patient here, gonna go up and down this ramp, but doesn't seem like he's struggling. He's going to utilize his bomb to make it through that window, and the hunter is going to be going all the way around. The hunter is able to move pretty fast, so it's not going to be too much of an issue. He's going to be out of his wheel form and trying to get that first presence, and will be able to get that hit, and not quite there, but it looks like it's going to be able to fill up with insolence. He will be able to get his first present, is able to get that trap on him at this window once again, and the hunter is going to be going back into his wheel form because now he has long spikes available and he won't have too much trouble along the windows. And it looks like Xawm's holding his bomb, but is just going to be able to fly wheel right through, avoiding the injury. But unfortunately, we got the trap, but then he utilizes bomb to get away. Another trap, and he's kind of caught between the trap and this window, and it looks like the hunter will be able to down the survivor for the first time. We see a lot of progress on last 3 Cypher machines. It is a big map, so if you're going to go for this rescue, you need to start going towards that rescue, which Drop was doing. So Drop has already made her way towards this chair, is hiding behind this windmill. Hunter's going to be utilizing his long spikes inside of his wheel form, and it looks like she's being a little patient here. It has to force an early rescue, unfortunately, so he's going to be going out of this wheel form. She's going to utilize her stun gun and is able to stun this hunter, allowing Xawm to get away. Hunter's going to go right back into his wheel form to down these survivors, and it looks like he's going to be ignoring the coordinator and going straight for this acrobat. Acrobat does now have this area inside of Shack, but the basement is also here, so you don't want to loop this area too much. He's going to utilize his bomb to try and get more distance, but the hunter is catching up. He needs to make it all the way to the, he's going to sidestep the, oh my goodness, wonderful blink down the survivor. We had Yang Y coming in for the possible body block, but the hunter realized this, and seeing that situation, he utilized blink right away and down the survivor so that he has no chance to rebound kite, and he's gonna go straight back into his wheel form. No survivors are actually, the Mao was there, never mind. And it looks like he is able to get that immediate rescue with tight, actually it was Li Bao, my bad. And it looks like Hunter's gonna go right back into his wheel form, and oh, Maom is the person getting chased. I was like, I definitely saw Maom as a name going in for that rescue, but he was a survivor that was chaired. Is gonna be able to down the survivor with that snap, and Maom will be returning to the manor. We can see the third cipher machine isn't quite finishing up. They need to finish up that last cipher machine because they need 2 whole cipher machines, almost 2 whole cipher machines to work with, and it looks like the hunter is gonna be going towards a drop. Hasn't quite located this coordinator, but he will be seeing the scratch marks on the ground, and she's just trying to stay alive here at these window and the walls. But the hunter does have extended spike, is able to get 1 spike on her so far. She's gonna flywheel to avoid the double spike, and she has a pocket watch to utilize as well, buying so much time for her teammates. Hunter's just going to change targets, and he's now going to go towards Li Bao because that pocket watch does have quite a lot of time on it in it if you use it, like if you use it twice. First officer can use it 3 times, and normal survivors that are not first officer will use it once. We see an elbow pad on the side of Li Bao is able to get inside of Shack. Hunter's going to go straight back into his wheel form and now go back to the coordinator. No, he's going to stay near Shack area because if he does down the survivor, he can get a basement chair, so it's not too much of a bad idea, but it looks like he's going to utilize his elbow pad to make it all the way to small boat. 3 cipher machines completed, 4 cipher machine almost completed, but that last cipher machine, they're starting a new cipher machine, and that's at 35%. Hunter's changing targets to drop, who is at 25% damage. Doing a very good job avoiding, but will be able to get another spike onto the survivor. She avoids the trap, and she's going around this wall. Hunter is going to be able to, oh wonderful, illusion is able to trick this hunter and make that window vault very close, and the hunter is able to throw yet another, oh, will be able to get a hit through this window, downing this survivor for the first time. Mind you, she does not have borrowed time, so it's going to be very risky. They might just pop that cipher machine, but if they do, that means the hunter can just get back and forth really quickly. Li Bao's coming in for this rescue. That means he has to get the body block hit for the coordinator. If not, the coordinator will not be able to get out, but cipher machines are primed. This is the end game situation. Hunter is going to be able to get that second spike onto the mercenary and is able to get that trap to maybe force him to get a after half rescue, but yeah, you have to be very patient here. So it looks like the hunter is gonna throw another trap at him so he can't get this rescue. Oh, it's so dangerous, and is going to be forcefully getting that rescue. Gets the flywheel. Hunter gets a hit onto the mercenary, and it looks like the hunter is going to be going back into his wheel form and going after the coordinator. Is able to get that spike onto this coordinator. They're going to have to pop that cipher machine because the coordinator does not have borrowed time, and the coordinator will be going down. Was it before half rescue? She still has time, but the mercenary can't get it to that exit gate in time, because if he goes into his wheel form, he'll definitely make it before the mercenary. So the mercenary is going to elbow pad back towards the chair, get the rescue onto the coordinator, forcing the hunter to go for only one of the survivors. It looks like the hunter is going to be going for this mercenary. Is able to get him on that trap, but he's going to blink. Oh, okay, and will be able to down this mercenary immediately. That now cuts drop off from getting to the cornfield exit gate. Now she's forced to go towards the shore exit gate, and so he's keeping the survivors separate. Now Yang Y is he's like, do I have to go and heal up this mercenary? Because he doesn't have enough time to heal up this mercenary. That's a 3-man elimination. Because he's going to chair the coordinator. Coordinator's going to go back to the manor. He's going to pick up the mercenary next. And yeah, there's not much that Yang Y can do. So that is going to be a 3-man elimination for the GG hunter. It will be breaking wheel on Ever Sleeping Town. He spawned at Graveyard, and he's slowly making his way towards the targets. He's heading towards middle. Nope, he's going to be heading towards Dancing Geisha, where he will be running into Nanako as his first chase. It is the archer. She's getting ready to use her arrow, is able to land the arrow onto this hunter, so if he keeps moving he will be stunned, and gets the 100% stun, 100% arrow charge on the hunter, and he will be stunned. Hunter will be going back into his wheel form and trying to get is able to get a spike onto this survivor, and is able to get the trap onto her, getting that 75% damage as she makes her way outside of graveyard. He needs to be careful here, is able to avoid another trap. He's going to be vaulting this window, going back into his wheel form and trying to get another hit onto the survivor. Now that he does have full presence, he does have the extended spikes, so most likely, flywheel, and avoids the extended spikes, is able to go through that window, and she's back out in the open. Hunter is back in his human form, so that allows her to try and stun him once again. He'll throw that trap and he'll go right back into his wheel form so that he can stun this survivor. Is able to get the spike onto the archer. She's getting ready to use her ability. She misses and she will be going down, and it looks like that's going to be the first down for the archer. She'll be chaired for the first time nearby the fake gate, which is also a survivor with a cipher machine a survivor is working on, and that's going to be Huasi. Blink getting the hit onto the patient immediately, forcing an early rescue. No, he's not going for this early rescue. We see that Zing H is in this area. It looks like they're just going to be patient, and we do see that wanted order is on the embalmer. We got the hit onto the gravekeeper. Hunter is now at full presence. She is holding her bow, so the hunter goes back into his wheel form, and with that extended long, I think it's long. I am very confused today, and it looks like she is going to miss her. Okay, she got one of the stuns, and it's stacking up. Hunter is just continuously moving and is going to be able to get the down on her because that stun still needs to stack up. Hunter is going to stay still, so that stun doesn't get to 100% quite yet, and it does look like he is able to make it to the chair without getting stunned, and it looks like the survivors are healing. We do see wanted order on Xiao Di, and the hunter is back in his wheel form looking for his survivor to harass, I guess. He went up to the second floor. He sees that she has been coffined and resurrected on the second floor. Hunter is just waiting to get the spikes onto the survivor, and then she's just going to have to jump down. Wasn't able to get any of the spikes, it seems. But we'll be eating a spike here at the railway, and we'll be able to down her immediately. It was a third chair now, so now she's returning back to the manor, and it looks like there's a survivor decoding inside of graveyard. The survivors have healed up, and the hunter is back on the chase inside of his wheel form, going for Xiao Di with that extended spike. He will try to make it to the window and is able to get one spike on him so far. He's waiting behind the wall. Hunter's going to be throwing down a lot, just one peeper. I thought it was two, but it looks like we have 3 ciphers completed, but the train is coming. They have to be careful. He flywheels, avoids the hit, so he's still up and running, is waiting here on this pallet, being very patient. Will be able to throw it on this pallet without getting injured. Hunter going back into his wheel form. Don't want to go down here because the basement is here, but it looks like he's able to get the double spikes onto the survivor. He is getting the trap onto this embalmer. It does look like he was not fast enough, so there was another trap here at this pallet, so it forces him to go around, and that gives the hunter the opportunity to down this embalmer, chairing him for the it did put down 2 peepers. I do see 2 peepers now. It looks like he's going for the slugging method. He's gonna down survivors, change targets, down them, go back. And it looks like the next target is going to be the gravekeeper. He's already inside of his shovel form. He misses his trap. He's just looping this area, gets the trap and slows him down, hits him out of his shovel. He is able to throw down this pallet, and it looks like Huasi is actually going to go and heal up the patient. Was it the patient? No, the embalmer. And the hunter utilizes the extended spikes, is able to get the double spike onto the gravekeeper, but he goes right inside of his shovel. He's hit outside of his shovel. Now he's waiting around here at this pallet. Hunter is too close. He is able to avoid one hit, but it doesn't look like he'll be able to avoid the next hit and will be going down. Survivors have healed each other up, so now they still have self-heal available. Hunter is going to throw down another peeper near this gravekeeper, and now he's going to go back to that graveyard cipher machine. Xiao Di's already left the cipher, and he's kind of waiting around at this window. Hunter changing targets. Now he's going towards Huasti, who is the patient. He still has 3 hooks left to utilize. He's going to flywheel, avoiding the spike, and now the hunter is changing targets and going back inside of graveyard. That cipher machine around 54, I think it's the 54 cipher machine, and it looks like the gravekeeper still has not gotten up. Is able to get the down immediately onto this embalmer, and the hunter is going to change targets once again after throwing down peepers because the gravekeeper has gotten back up. It's going to be slow, but he's definitely making progress on getting downs, except they didn't utilize the self-heal because the patient did heal up this embalmer. But how much longer will they be able to last? Because we didn't see a lot of cipher progress. It looks like he's able to get a spike onto the gravekeeper. Has the gravekeeper jump down that window, is able to get the second spike, and now he's free to snap and down this gravekeeper once again. Gravekeeper, however, was also healed up by the teammate, so he still does have self-heal, and once again they have healed up the survivor in the graveyard who was the embalmer, and it looks like the patient is trying to make all the way to the gravekeeper next. Hunter back inside of graveyard, and he's pressuring Xawm once again while Cassie tries to get that backdoor rescue. He did utilize one of his hooks to get there closer. Hunter has utilized his extended spike, but he's far away from the window already, and he's making his way towards the pallet. Hunter is going to be throwing down another peeper here to try and slow down the survivor's movements, and so that he can get better vision, and he is trying to get another spike onto the survivor. They were able to get that backdoor rescue. 2 last cipher machines with the most progress at 66 and 36 is able to get another spike. He's going to flywheel and avoid the spike. He's going to sidestep that pallet, but no pallet here for him to run away to. Will be going down. Still has self-heal available, and it looks like Huasi's working on that cipher machine, and Hunter will be going for this patient. The patient's still at full health, so he's going to need a little more spikes. Did flywheel and utilize his hook to make it to that pallet. Hunter trying to catch him on the other side. No, he's being very patient. And he's going to throw down a peeper, go back into his wheel form, and try to land more spikes onto this patient. Patient avoiding that at the edge of that house corner. Hunter's going to be back out of his wheel form. He sidesteps that, but he's going to, it doesn't have enough distance, and 75% damage onto this patient, but he's still up and running. They're priming up that last cipher machine at 75%. Hunter is changing targets. Xing H is going to leave Xawm, and while Xawm pushes that cipher machine. And it looks like the hunter is able to get the spike onto the embalmer. Double spike, snap, and the embalmer is down once again. Hunter at this point is forced to chair because the survivors are doing a very good job healing each other each time, so that slugging method is kind of useless. It's kind of countered at this point, and it looks like he is able to get the rescue in the basement. Xing H is coming in for that rescue immediately because Cypher Machine is almost primed, but good dodging. It looks like he's not going to be able to make it. Oh no, he's going to go for it. He is going to go get that rescue, and it looks like the survivors are trying to avoid the hit. It looks like the Gravekeeper will be going down instead. The coffin has been summoned by the Embalmer, so Embalmer can get resurrected once again inside of basement while the Gravekeeper is returning to the manor. I guess he was rescued after half when he was chaired at Corner House. And the Hunter once again in his wheel form. He's going to stop that exit gate from opening. It's at 67%, unable to open it. And he's waiting around here at the tram. He is going to be riding this tram. Oh no, he did not ride this tram. He got the spike onto him. Oh no, he slowed down, and he is able to get the down onto this patient. Now it looks like the Embalmer is trying to open up the opposite exit gate, and the Hunter is going to be chairing this patient. He does still have his coffin, but it looks like the Hunter's back in his wheel form, trying to open up, stop the survivor from opening up that exit gate. It's not quite open, and it's looking like a 4-man elimination for this wheel. He sidesteps, but it gets caught afterwards, and it looks like he will not be resurrecting and will be returning to the manor with his teammate. That's a 4-man elimination from this breaking wheel. Wolves survivors in round 2. First half, the Hunter was able to get that 4-man elimination. If they want to get a tie for round 2, he also needs to get a 4-man elimination as breaking wheel. His first chase is going to be D King. the meteorologist. She's doing a very good job dodging the spikes so far. Hunter doesn't have any presence, so it's going to be kind of hard. Oh, utilizing the little corners, is finally able to get the first spike onto this meteorologist. She's getting her bottle ready. She's going to utilize the cloud and transition up to the second story of this mini bridge. Hunter's going to be forced back inside of his wheel to close the distance. And it looks like he has been able to catch up. She dropped right back down. Now she has a pallet to utilize if he does go back into his human form. She's going to be looping this area, and Hunter is trying to get around the sharp corners. She's doing a very good job dodging this Hunter just behind this one chair and pallet. Wonderful. Oh, is able to get that second spike onto this survivor. He needs to get the hit, but she's going to utilize the cloud again for faster movement speed. She's going to be on the... Oh, Hunter utilized blinks, close the distance. She's going to flywheel. Hunter being very patient, gets the terror shock and immediate down onto this meteorologist. Incredible patience on this Hunter. Was able to get a very early down. It was looking very good for this meteorologist. I mean, it's not an early down, but it's a fairly good down. We can see Cypher Machines at 90, 80, and 55%, so a very good job on this Hunter. We see Wanted Order on XMX, their rescuer, so a lot of pressure being applied. He does have his extended spikes ready. He's going to always return back to the chair and make sure there are no backdoor rescues. Throwing down a trap near the chair. It looks like XMX is trying to utilize his elbow pads, has made it right to the chair. Oh, he's getting trapped, double trapped, but it doesn't look like it's going to be long enough. He's going to take the normal hit with that spike, so 75% damage before half with Tide Turner. Hunter's going back inside of his wheel form and trying to spike this meteorologist once again. Doesn't look like he needs to utilize the extended spikes, has the double spikes and immediate down onto this meteorologist. She had a win ready, but she was not able to utilize it, and she will be going down for the second time. 2 Cypher Machines have been completed. 3rd Cypher Machine at 70, 4th Cypher Machine at 45, and the last Cypher Machine with progress. So it was a fairly good down on the side of the Hunter, but Cypher Machine progress is looking pretty good. They already have the last 2 Cypher Machines. They already have the 4th Cypher Machine and the 5th Cypher Machine. The 3rd Cypher Machine was at 80, so that's what I kind of meant. And it looks like Jelly's coming in for the rescue. 487 has Wanted Order, and the Hunter is able to get 1 spike, double spike. He flywheels and avoids the... He's going to get trapped. Hunter's going to get the hit, and that's 75% damage. But rescue with Tide Turner and the mud bomb on this Hunter. He's going to go right back into his wheel form and quickly down. This meteorologist has utilized the extended spikes. Does have 1 spike onto this survivor. He's kind of caught here. He needs to maneuver his way around. Is able to get the second spike onto the meteorologist, and it looks like she has 1 bottle usage left. She's gonna get the cloud and avoid the trap, making her way inside of the Lion Pagoda. Hunter suddenly changing targets, and it looks like he's going for Jelly instead, who's at 75% damage. He's gonna throw down a peeper, and he's gonna go back for this meteorologist. He just wants to try and slow down the Cypher progress as much as possible. He's gonna go back into his human form inside of this pallet, allowing the survivor to get that pallet stun, buying him more time and more distance. He's making his way up to the 2nd floor. Hunter having to chase the survivor all the way back. He is throwing a trap, and it looks like he dodged it. He was already dropping down and making his way back inside of the building and back up the stairs. Hunter unable to mind game this meteorologist, is going to be finally able to down her, getting rid of the first survivor. But last Cypher Machine is at 83%, and they also have additional one just in case the Hunter pressures that Cypher Machine, so it's looking like a 3-man endgame. That Cypher Machine is at 97%, so it is primed and ready. We can see the survivors. We see Jelly does not have borrowed time, but it doesn't seem to be too much of an issue. Hunter will be going for this mercenary, has the spike onto his mercenary. Mercenary's going to utilize his elbow pad. Cypher Machines are popped. He is at 25% damage, and the Hunter is going to be throwing down a peeper at this exit gate area, and he's going to be making sure that this umbrella exit gate is not being opened. We see Jelly is feeding tinnitus to this Hunter. Wolf survivors just need to get a 1-man escape, and they get the win for round 2 as well. It's going to be very hard for this wheel to get a 4-man elimination playing around here at this pallet, but he's vaulting this pallet quite a lot, so that's going to break the rubble. Exit gate is being opened at 80%, and the Hunter is going after this acrobat. Oh, and we can see the dungeon is in the tunnel area. Hunter is able to get out of his wheel form, gets another spike onto the acrobat. He's going to flywheel. He's getting closer, but the bombs are on cooldown. Does he have any more bombs left? He does have one red bomb left. Hunter's gonna slow him down with that peepers, and the dungeon is open. He just needs to make his way towards the tunnel. He's holding his bomb, but he gets trapped, and he will be going down, and that's a 2-man elimination for GG Hunter, but that does give the round win to Wolves.